Welcome everyone, it's Favorite Strigamar. It's time for some more Raid Shadow Legends. Last time we were doing a buttload of spider, which I probably will be doing some this evening. In this episode, however, we gotta do Void Keep. Now, I know Void Keep is kind of maniacal, but just bear with me. Thinking I want more damage in here. But who do I want to put in here for damage? I'm going to start with Magnar. Mainly because I think Magnar in general is a monster. And yeah, we do need damage. We do need a thing called damage, and without damage, I don't see how we're going to fight the higher versions. That is that simple. I mean, we could put Drexthar in here. I wonder how much damage Drexthar does to this kind of content. Yeah, you want to get rid of... We're going to go take on that block buffs guy. Because we do not need more problems with that. We want to take his soldiers out first. Because you don't... His soldiers are a bigger threat than he is, so always remember that. Always remember that. I mean, he's a threat, don't get me wrong. But his soldiers are usually the bigger threat. You always want to take some damage in this fight. I'm doing this because I've got to ascend Visix. Because I feel like I'm going to need the potions. And I'm going to need to analyze how much potions I need to ascend Visix to 3. Now, I'm ascending Visix to 3 because I want the provoke on, like, Magma Dragon. The higher stages of Magma Dragon are, in general, a problem. But yeah. Now, we will want to finish up our business with some of this stuff. Going with the rosin. Okay, we got weaken. We got that extra turn. So yeah, Spider 16 is a healthy medium for Spider. It's hard, at least for my other account. It's hard, but it's not ridiculous. The other one requires gear that I realize I don't have. You ever get that feeling? You realize that it requires gear that you still, to this day, don't have prepared? The thing that's annoying about killing her is she's going to be very tanky. The good news is she has no backup. And a Erector Drath without backup doesn't tend to do as well as Erector Drath with backup. Erector Drath with backup is an absolute nightmare. But once you get Erector Drath alone, she tends to like suddenly doesn't have an answer for you. So, okay, first off, we need to figure out what we need to do. So, first things first, because we got to continue up these quests, finish up these quests, because I have neglected to finish these quests. Perfect. Boom. Okay, 3 glyphs. But on what gear? Let's do it on this. Why not? Why not more of that? Craft 1 item in the forge. No, I did that wrong. I need actually more speed boots. And of course it doesn't give me a speed boot. Of course not. I've got a plan. So remember how I said I didn't have a plan for this? I do now. So the plan goes like this. First things first, we got to get the triple cleansers in there. Cleansers are necessary in this fight. What do I want to put in here? Do I want to put another damage? Okay, now I'm going to put another support here with her. I'm also maybe, if that doesn't work, although I want to try it, we can put either Magnar in here or Magnar, Drexthar, or Magnar, Drexthar, or what? Like Cardinal, I want to say. Because with Cardinal, if I can get her to survive, generally speaking, if I can get Cardinal to survive. Now, the logic behind her is not only did she put a healing reduction, she also increases the duration of the buff, and she puts a crit rate buff on herself. So all of these are very useful attributes versus this specific spider. You generally don't want to waste your cleanses much. Like, maybe we'll use 1 or 2 cleanses. You want to put all your cleanses on this main bastard. And you want to wait for the heal reduction. What's the main? Because the main thing here, the main purpose of that is to stop. Yeah, we're not going to want these poisons. You don't want these poisons on you. Not too many of them. You don't want it healing. Almost all of its healing is from one source. You want the heal reduction on the main spider. Then get the crit rate, then slam. You have a better chance with that. Now, the reason I was considering Cardinal was because Cardinal would allow first things first, take the poisons off. Remember your lesson from last time. Don't do dumb shit. Just don't do dumb shit. Increase crit rate. And then slam. And then transfer. As you don't want it getting going with that. Well, I'll be. I think we're screwed. Nether spider is annoying. to say the
In
least.
15 minutes, I'm going to the, well, I'm going to the fish place. Maybe soon.
The main thing I'm doing here is I'm trying to avoid triggering the spiderlings at this point. As I can no longer afford to trigger them.
Looks like a lot of babies have died. I don't want to fight.
No, it does that automatically. Trying to use War Master to get to the end of this fight. As the main thing here is not to hit any of these spiderlings, because they both have counterattack on them. Hopefully, we can get to the end this way. I'm not saying this is easy or this is free or anything, but this might work. Notice how I'm only using A1. Note. Note how I am taking excruciating care not to touch the spiderlings. Note. This is how I'm going to beat it. It's simple, it's basic, but it's going to work. You would not be able to do this, by the way, without masteries. Do not attempt without masteries. Because the main thing with this strategy, by the way, if your team is down and you still have Kale remaining, you don't want to take too much damage from the spiderlings. That's the main thing here. Like that. Okay. Well, that's one way to kill another spider. That's one way to kill another spider. Now the next big thing upgrade gauntlets to level 8. Like even my crappy even my Magnar build that isn't even that good has levels, even Visix, who I have to ascend. Okay, she gains a new skill at that point. Well, you know what we have to do, right? We gotta start shoving out Potion Keep. I don't know how high we can shove with this, but we gotta give it a go. I'm using Magnar because I think Magnar is the best damage dealer for this. You do need cleansers who are properly armed in this fight. Do not attempt without cleansers. I do have to check her gearing, because it does not seem to be very durable. Magnar is kind of a monster. But yes, you want multiple cleanses for this boss. You want to attack the guy on the right. Why the guy on the right? Because the guy on the right is the one that removes and block buffs. If you don't kill the guy on the right, you're probably screwed. So, since we can kill the guy on the right, we can probably win. But I gotta, the thing is, I have to help Visix. I also have to go help blind Seer as well, in addition. Having damage always helps. However. Not exactly what I was looking for, but we will need more potions. What do we got for advanced quests? Okay. Faction Wars. We gotta do Faction Wars. This faction's kind of fun, because we've got War Maiden in here. This account also has a very bad skinwalker. For skinwalkers, it is kind of fun for the other account because we got Cleopteryx. This account's still working on a Cleopteryx. I am trying to do some last chance stuff, is the problem. See? War Maiden, very entertaining to look at. She does a fair amount of work. Her biggest weakness is that, well, she has two big weaknesses. Her first big weakness is her vitality is not very good. Her next big weakness, that's a little less obvious, is she only does decreased defense. In terms of, and does damage and decreased defense. Not that it's a bad thing, but she does not control turn meter. And she does not. She does not control turn meter, and she does not. Block buffs or steal buffs. She does not deal with people who use buffs, which, as time goes on, more and more people in the game start using buffs. So she also has the ability for this ability not to land or weak hit if you don't have the accuracy, which we're already running into that problem. So I have to check her accuracy later. I'm going to go check her accuracy right now. As her accuracy is a problem. She's got 238. We could get higher. I'm thinking like... Okay, attack is a good shout. Do we have an accuracy? It's resistance. Okay. We will have to do some more spider tonight. And do some Doom Tower stuff. We're gonna try to climb the Doom Tower. Here we're obviously gonna have some issues with like really tanky enemies. Like really tanky. I'm not even sure if I should include Kale in this or not. We need to try to get... I'm going to try a speed strat. This might be risky, but there ain't like almost every strategy has a risk. Generally, the premise of this strategy is to just cut through all their defense. Unfortunately, I don't see that working. Yeah, I don't see that working. Okay. Let's try this team, actually. I do want to try it. I don't know if it's going to work, but it might have a better chance. Like, I know there's some affinity conflicts, but it's more the type of team that would get through this. Because this team is very tank oriented. So because it's very tank oriented, it's going to be difficult to get through. Okay, I'm going to do a different setup. Instead of putting him in the mix... Alright, let's first try him in the mix, but we need a reviver. I'll throw Cardinal in there. Because we do need some form of reviver here. Get a provoke here. The reason I'm using Magnar is I feel like Magnar works better in this scenario than Kale. As maniacal as that is. I'm going to have to go to the other account to clean up business. I'm going to do this floor, and then we're going to go clean up business. The thing that's really annoying about these enemies is despite being tanky, they also do a lot of damage. So it's got that double whammy of does a lot of damage and is obscenely durable. So that's kind of the problem. Now, in a way, I'm actually glad they did him in specifically. I did that on purpose. I did that to remove their shields. Get that going. There's a reason I'm including Madame Saris in this. I include Madame Saris in this because I know that otherwise we're not getting through. Okay, yeah, we need a different team. We need to make a different team because we're not getting through this with this team right now. Okay, well, I've got to prioritize some other stuff, as crazy as that sounds. I don't care about the zip program. Your zip program sucks. I only end up using it in times of desperation. I mean, I will try a different team there, but the big problem is that there is an account that needs help. These other two accounts. This account specifically needs more tag arena. Because I need to continue the climb to getting Drexthar. I mean, I got a frag this morning, but Drexthar is a long climb. Now, the other thing I have to do is this keep. So, let's start ascending her. See, I knew we're going to have to Alright, I knew we were gonna... Okay, so let's see. Um... Yeah, let's try to get more potions. Because I knew we were gonna need more potions. I'm gonna try to climb it as high as I can. The issue is we don't have multiple cleansers that are proper. And that, on this fight, is going to be really bad. So that's part of the issue here. When you're in this fight, generally speaking, you want to get rid of this guy, by the way. He is your ultimate nemesis. The guy on the right. Because he's the one that makes this fight actually genuinely hard. The other, everything else on there doesn't really matter. It's this guy on the right. Because the guy on the right always messes with you. Because he's the one who removes your buffs. That's what Hell Hades won't tell you. The guy on the right removes your buffs. The way to tell whether you're ready for a keep or not is, can you kill the guy on the right in time before you get destroyed? If you can't kill the guy on the right after getting through the waves, you're not ready for that guy yet. We'll give it a go. I mean... Go for her. Keep going. I'm gonna go for the faceless. The faceless always pisses me off. And it causes me a lot of issues. So best to look for that. The reason that I go shield afterwards is because I know I'm not going to be able to retaliate straight away after the increased cooldown ability. And that's why now we do have a unique advantage, but again, in order to press this advantage, you need to instantly go for the guy on the right. Instantly. Because you do not want the guy on the right doing anything. Because the second that he does anything, you're in a world of hurt. And you don't want that hurt. That is the god the big gimmick. The gimmick with this boss. That's the gimmick. Oh, she no longer takes damage with that. Did you see that? Anyone see that? That's the value of ascending her. Did you see that? Anyway, I would like to fully ascend her. Get her to 60. Because she is a void legendary and she's highly useful in a lot of advanced content. Yeah. And still have another 8 minutes till that. I still have to try to beat a bunch of people. Okay. One thing I like about this situation is that I already have them on the back foot in a way. See, she takes no damage. The suicidal problem has been solved. And that's important, by the way, because I don't need her randomly suiciding while I'm trying to do Doom Tower. There's a reason I'm doing that. I just want to end it. End it as quick as possible. Just get as many battles out as I can with this account. Because in order for this account to make progress, I need to have a lot of arena done on it. There is no getting away from that. Okay, so what do we got left for quests? 5 silver keys in the Doom Tower. The question is, and this is a big one, can I get past the crazies? I think I want to get her to 60 so her shield is maxed out as much as my gear can go. But yeah, that's what I think I want. We're going to keep going up the Void Keep to do this. Because I actually have a way of making this better. Because I want to try to get as much potions as humanly possible for this. Because this keep isn't available all the time. It's only available during select moments. And the other account needs Visix for a provoke. Versus the final Magma Dragon. And also needs a team to deal with those tanks. So that's a problem. Number one guy you're going to want to get rid of is this guy. This guy on the right is a very serious problem. Because not only does he like screw over your, like he wrecks your buffs and stuff. Like he messes up your setup, and that's what you don't want. The other guy just puts weaken. He's not a big deal. See that? This is what I mean by she's valuable. Now that she doesn't commit suicide from this ascending, this makes it so that she's actually usable in higher content. But I do want more ascension because it allows us to use banners and stuff. Okay, this is that's the acid test. Did you see how low she got? That's the acid test right there. Because you see in her previous form, if she did that, she would have committed suicide. But because of yeah, this one's a little bit too high level because we don't have masteries complete. And completing masteries is very important for mid to end game content. I'm going to have to go do potion keep on the other account just to try to get Visix in the right situation, because I need her to have her third skill, single combat. Now you're like, but single combat doesn't sound special. It provokes the entire enemy team. Now what that does is, if you're versus wave content, it makes it so all they can do is use their A1. If you're versus Magma Dragon, which is even more important, it makes it so the Magma Dragon has nearly 100% chance that it will only use its default skill. Now the reason that you want Magma Dragon to only use his default skill is because you do not want Magma Dragon to ruin you. In terms of this fight, as I always say, kill this guy first. This is the guy that removes your buffs, messes your whole setup up, everything. That guy, once he's out of the fight, your chance of winning increases. But until you get him out of the fight, you're probably doomed. The other guy puts weaken. Yes, weaken can get you killed, but it's not as bad as block buffs and remove all buffs, because that makes it so you can't put up any kind of defensive shields or other stuff. As you can see, she no longer takes damage when doing it. So that's where this skill being ascended is much more valuable than normal, because it means she can now just do a Duchess and revive everyone without any fear of getting destroyed. Now, I'm still looking for a lot of superior potions, but the other account needs it more, because right now that champ's kit is basically not complete without that. So yeah, we're going to go do that now. Is this... Okay, we can refresh this. I don't like what I see. This is probably This and this are probably our best bets. If that. Okay, he has shield set. Okay, that didn't work. The problem I have with facing Genbo, and this is one of the things that makes Genbo really terrifying, is the fact that he does a lot of damage. He steals buffs, and on top of that, which we did get him, but on top of that, he ignores unkillables. So if your verse is one and you like put a Paragon or something, or a Gnarlhorn, or in an extreme case, a Maneater, if you were lucky enough to... Because there's only like one person in my clan, Soul Mythos, who's become an MVP, that has managed to get a Maneater. Everyone else has failed to. They also, in addition, just if you thought that they weren't, flying high, they also got a Sifi for themselves. So, yeah. Anyone who knows anything about Sifi will instantly understand that's a really big deal. Because it's very rare to get a Sifi. Even for an endgame account, it is extremely rare to get a Sifi. Extremely rare. Like, you could open like 200, 500 voids and not get a Sifi. Even on a 10x Sifi event. So, to get a Sifi, you not only usually have to wail on shards, you have to be extremely lucky while wailing on shards. On top of this, just if you thought this wasn't crazy enough, if you want to get her free to play, it's even harder because your chance drops off a cliff. Like your chance of winning just drops. There's a reason I'm focusing her first, is because I know that she's the bigger threat. And then followed by him. Because if he hits you with that, you block revive. But we didn't win that one. We will be looking for other ones. This account's still new. Yeah, I'm going for it, but I'm trying to do something. But we'll be covering this in the next episode. I'm just going to run this off screen. Run a void keep thing. Because I need those potions. Because otherwise... Well, okay. You know what? I'll make a compromise. We'll end it off with this. The Void Keep boss. So, because the thing is, there is still stuff that some of my accounts just can't do. Especially the third account. But the third account, as you saw, was creeping into being very strong. This move is more dangerous than it looks. Because that move, he can chain kill your team if you don't watch it. Now the funny thing about my barbarian squad is It is one of my only faction wars teams that is entirely composed of ladies. However, that does not mean that it isn't effective. I want to finish up this mission. Because I might as well finish up the faction wars. The main problem with progression here is marked here on the right. She needs to level up and stuff. Because she needs to get to the point where she can face tank all this other stuff. And I'd also like Aina here to have more levels and stuff. But she's really the rate limiting step. Because when we get to the higher levels of Force Keep, I mean not Force Keep, this Barbarians faction wars later, we are going to have problems because we won't have the survivability. I'm trying to use up all these keys because I know that gives me more of those tokens and energy fuel, which again, even if you have like 3-4k energy, the second you start running like boosts, like XP boosts, that energy starts to go away. So, yeah. Also, you use the tag arena stuff to buy all sorts of stuff after you get Drexthar. But Drexthar is what you have to prioritize first because Drexthar, basically, your account is somewhat crippled until you get Drexthar. Because unless you pull something like Ignatius or something, good luck ever getting to higher Spider without now the reason I did that is, so you want to go for her specifically. Now the reason you want to go for her specifically, and this is also why you do not want to run this stage on auto, is because if you don't go for her specifically, she does Karma Burn. And that Karma Burn will end your team, practically. Seer will end your team. And likewise with that, we've done enough. I've done enough Doom Tower for now. I will show that later. More of it later. In the next episode.